Okay, hopefully it'll work this time. Still not getting a notification that seems like this isn't good. Oh, there we go. Got it. Finally. Finally. All right. Okay. 10 years later, figured it out. Don't tell me that's still... Test this. Test. So I can't read comments here. Hey, what's good, SLP? Okay, so I don't need to connect on my phone because I could read the chat pretty good on my second screen. Yeah, bear with me. I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna run these lives. So this is more practice than anything. But yeah, earlier today I was on Twitch, and basically I'm using my Twitch channel to do all my sound design. And here on YouTube, I'm actually going to be making the beats with the sounds that I created. And that way, I kind of separate the two, and you don't have this big long video when you're just interested in seeing someone make a beat or just seeing someone sound design some sounds. So I separated the two. Hopefully that helps with the YouTube algorithm. That's the whole reason I separated this live channel from my main tutorial channel, because from what I've read, going live on a video on demand channel, that tends to hurt those type of channels, and I've been seeing that over and over again. So I decided to separate these channels, and that's why SLP, you are my one and only viewer right now, which is awesome. I appreciate you. But here we go. Let's go ahead and let me show you what sounds that I actually made. This is Citrus. This actually, I didn't make this sound. I think this is just a stock sound. I'm gonna have to turn up my buffer. 6. Still got some crackling. That's a lot more clean. Second patcher, I have... This is Firebird with a preset that I just worked on. You know, I really like Tone 2's ARPs. I feel like they have the best ARPs in the game. They're just really easy to manipulate and really easy to play around with. But let's go ahead and come up with something here. This is, I'm getting way too much lag here. I'm gonna have to decrease this down. And fortunately, we're gonna hear some dropouts, but to deal with it. I think I need a metronome here. Now there was a melody that I came up with earlier. I'm gonna go to that real quick. I told myself I wouldn't use what I made before on these lives, but I need to take a listen to this real quick. That's what I made earlier. Basically, what 808 is this? 808 Lava. I'm pretty sure that was a free 808 from, I'm not going to remember who made that kit, but I just flipped it a little bit. Took down some of the high frequencies, just barely. Hey, what's going on, Tony? Good to see you in here. SLP, if you're wondering who I'm talking to, there's I'm also on Facebook right now, so I have some friends and family side. Let's see here. So, the melody that I came up with, you know what would be cool on this? If I added some halftime. Actually, let me go ahead and separate these tracks real quick. So this is my ARP. So an easy way to drag this, keep the same preset and all that. Go to save preset as, drag this over to ARP, and I have that linked into my mixer already. I'm going to do the same thing with this. This is my L pad, so I'm just going to leave this. And then I'm going to copy and this. Oops. Copy, else paste. That in the ARP. Now I can delete these. And now I can go in and mix these two sounds. And let me go ahead and increase this buffer all the way. That way I don't have to worry about dropout. My image line, the FL Studio ASIO, the thing about that is it goes through my computer speakers, and if I did that, everything would kind of be like really low volume. But even then, my I still have heavy lag on my FL Studio ASIO. The good thing about the FL Studio ASIO, that has a higher buffer rate. So if I run into trouble here, I can switch to that and increase the buffer rate really high. Till that happens, let's keep going. It's real quick. Damn, I guess I pretty much finished this beat with just halftime right there. Which means I'm gonna have to make a whole nother beat for you guys. Yeah, so basically what I would do with this, I would go ahead and export 3 versions of this. I think the easiest way for me to go about doing it, actually, go ahead and turn halftime off. Then I'm going to solo my instrument bus. And I'm going to consolidate this to audio. Control, Alt, Shift, and C. And you can convert all this to audio. All right. hide this. Oh, that did nothing. Let me undo that. I know why. There we go. Now we can do it. Let's see. Over to audio. All right. And let me go ahead and switch this to and then what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and make 3 copies of this. And with each one, we're going to make unique. Unique. Then we're going to go into each of these and to route these some brush mixer. It's going to look a little dirty. Channel routing. Route starting from this track. Really, I need 4 of these because I want to keep the original as well. I'm gonna make unique. Here. $66. All right. So now we can go ahead and there we go. Now I can mute all these. And we'll add different halftimes to each of these except for the original. I'll leave 63 as the original and I'll add halftime to all the other ones. And we'll have 3 different halftime presets and that will make all of our change ups for this beat in terms of the arrangement. So we got 1. I'm going to name this track Melody Halftime. Same thing here. See, I feel like doing all this stuff, I mean, this is not entertaining, right? There's no way. That's why I went on Twitch earlier to try to get most of the tedious stuff done out of the way. What's up, Stoll? I need to come see you sometime. I'm living up in Michigan right now, which is kind of weird. Let's see here. We're going to name this Halftime Melody 2. Halftime Melody 3. And oh, no, we're not. Yeah, we are. Let's take a listen to this progression. fade out. That's going to get replaced with a sub synth bass. You know what? If you're ever trying to match your patterns up to your channel or any of these or whatever, what you can do is middle click and then click this drop down arrow, and now all this synth bass, the color, the name, all that will be saved right here, and you'll be able to rename this real easily by going to, and where's my mouse? Mouse just disappeared. That's another thing that I've been noticing, like going live and using FL Studio, it's done some weird things that I've never seen before, like an extra knob on a plugin. Like that's so crazy. Like I actually saw an extra knob on a plugin. Now I can't see my mouse. That is wild. Oh, there it is. It's back. Oh my gosh. My computer is like ancient. It's like 10 years old, so bear with me. But yeah, see how this synth bass preset just showed up there? So now I could click that and that's all there, and I could drag that here, which I'm going to do. I'm going to move that right there, and we're going to make a synth bass line. I actually dropped a tutorial today. I think you might have commented on it already, SLP, on synth basses. Like I make all my synth basses in 3x oscillator. But yeah, let's go ahead and come up with something here. I'm going to loop this section. Actually, you know what I want to do? I'm going to take out this entire 808. And I'm going to make a few different synth bass lines here. This whole entire thing. Cool. Appreciate you watching SLP, both here and on my tutorial channel. I know it's a lot to subscribe to like 14 different channels. I mean, I'm on Twitch, I have 4 different YouTube channels. I have a tutorial channel, a live channel, a beat channel, and a vlog channel. I don't really mess around with my vlog channel too much. I do need to update that though, because I have a lot to talk about in terms of behind the scenes. But let's go ahead and make this synth bass. Getting so much lag. I'm gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way. Onto piano roll. Ooh. So not used to using the piano roll. This is so funny. And in this section, we're going to make these. Man, I wish I could play it. I'm so much faster when I play it. Let me try to decrease the buffer and play it. Now that we have all these consolidated down to audio, it might be okay. No, it's not okay. Oh, you know what I could do? Settings. Switch smart disable. Okay, that brought down some of the CPU. I think I'm gonna be, Tony, I think I'm gonna be in Virginia for Thanksgiving because my dad, he has a house out there and there's a bunch of stuff that he has to work on, and that's like the only time that he's gonna be able to go out there, so I have to go out there with him. So I'm gonna be out of town for Thanksgiving, but unfortunately not in Chicago. Unfortunately. But do you plan on coming back sometime soon? Let me take a listen to what that sounds like in transition between the 808 and the synth bass that we just came up with. Let's try. That 808 sounds out of key, doesn't it? I don't think it is. It's not. Unless the sample's out. That's why I don't like using other people's samples. It is out of key. Best way to test that, shift this up, control up. So. Yeah, it's out of key. Correct this. Maybe it's not out of key. Let me go ahead and mute this play. Yeah, it sounds out of key when... Oh, you know what? Might be because of the clashing from halftime. So I'm gonna have to, yeah, I'm gonna replace this with parametric. Where is my fruity parametric? Oh, I don't have any plugins on here. Usually, I have EQ set up on all of my tracks that are disabled, but saves me time. Not sure why I didn't write template there. All right, let's take a look at this EQ. All these are not even routed correctly. Yeah, I must have loaded up an old template where none of this is right. Oh. missed one. That works. Yeah, it takes some getting used to clicking in notes in the piano roll, especially if you're used to playing them. What was I doing? Oh yeah, bass. Is it out of key or not? So what I'm gonna do is switch out that 808 altogether because it just don't sound right. Wait, let me use my 808 and use samples. Yeah, if it's not off key, it's because I've been making beats all day and now my ears are totally fatigued. So I'm really gonna have to think about how I do this because if I can't be running into that issue, that's for sure. But either way. Yeah, that's definitely what's happening. All these sound out of key to me. That is so wild. I've been making beats for too long today. That sucks. Well, what I'm gonna do instead, I'm gonna switch that back to the 808 that I had. Sorry. Now I'm gonna switch out that synth bass with a better one. That one will be fine, but I don't want to test something else. I just loaded that on the wrong track. Oh, and El Studio is frozen. Look at that. Look at that. Locating Lil Peep Kick, it says. Okay, there we go. It's back. Glad it didn't crash on me. Which means I should save. I saved. Alright, I'm gonna have to switch this back. Oh no. I wonder what that's gonna sound like. Okay, sounds like nothing. Let me switch this back to the sampler. Place. Saved with my drums. Oops. Sorry about that. Sampler. Okay. There. Crazy guy trying to remember what settings were. we'll go with that one. And we're going to add some effects to that. So let's go to our synth bass track. Let's take a look at our EQ real quick. And let's loop the synth bass part. You know what? Well, I'm going to load Pretty Blood Overdrive on that, and then with that, I might boost some of these signals into Blood Overdrive. And then I kind of want to mess around with, that should be good enough, but I have some new plugins that I wanted to mess around with. Fetish. This is basically an emulation of, what's that thing called? I forget. I totally forget what this plugin is supposed to be emulating, but let's mess around with it a little bit. Wait a second. It seems like it's not doing anything. There. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm starting to remember the plugin that this emulates, because if you, the attack and the release is backwards. Yep. I'm gonna have to mess around with that some other time. Let's just pull in. Actually, let me take a look at my levels real quick. Yeah. Pull in Pretty Limiter. Another option would be Soft Clipper. Gotta pay attention to the chat. Yes, for sure. Always save your progress. Always save. Control S for those of you that don't know. Let's see here. This. gonna EQ that after. Probably a really bad idea to be mixing with the state that my ears are in right now. Let's go ahead and arrange this real quick. See what else we could come up with. What I'm going to do here is actually go ahead and, oh yeah. I'm used to having my, oh. Exactly. All right, let's come up with an, I probably need, you know what? I already know that I over to this filter. Pretty low filter. That for a second. We don't need that long of an intro, so what I'm going to do. Guess I didn't really. Am I in my hexatonic dark scale? That's a good question. Am I? That little happy accident just gave me a really interesting idea about making samples and playing them with your keyboard and different keys. That's so crazy. I can't believe I haven't thought of doing that, like purposefully doing that. But anyway, what was I just talking about? I was about to. I totally forgot. Oh, hexatonic dark scale. Let's see here. I want to say yes, but just to be 100% sure, I'm pretty sure I'm not using the 7th note scale or the 6th note in the scale. Let's see here. Pattern 1. Pattern 1. Pattern 1. And let's take a look at my MIDI. Yep. And the way I'm able to tell is because I never hit that note. So yeah, I'm using just 6 of the notes. I'm not even using 6 of the notes, for real. Let's see here. Back to the arrangement, and he needs to work on that kick. Synth bass. And let's do that twice. That get us 2.5 minute beat. Shorten all these. That over. Or maybe I don't need that. Yeah, I don't need that. Then automate. And we are going to fade this out. Value. Paste that value down. How long have I been streaming for? Like an hour, I guess. Yeah, two things that need to change. I need to fix that kick really bad. The synth bass isn't working in the chorus. It sounds mismatched from the beat, and then this 808 pattern is not good. And the hi-hats are super basic, but that's not I haven't added any extra percussion or anything yet. So there's still a lot of work to do on this beat. Let's see here. Let's go into the kick. I'm gonna loop this section right here. And I'm going to fix this kick drum because that is really bothering me. Actually, it was very obvious in the chorus. So let me go ahead and do this. Weak kick. So let's go in here and actually let's take a look at the channel first. Start from the source. Sometimes you just need to turn it up. That's good. And then I need to compress the tail. Can make this hit a little bit harder. Limiter. Hitting a little bit harder and it's a little more controlled. All right, let's take a look at again. I really shouldn't be doing this right now because my ears are shot. What up, King? Good to see you in here. I need to EQ the snare. I'm going to compress that a little bit, make it a little more dense. Compressor. A cool trick to see how Fruity Compressor is working, if you like to use your eyes, you could load up Fruity Limiter. Just set everything to 0. Make sure your limiter is set all the way up and all this is down so that you're not getting any latency from the plugin. And now you can see what this compressor is doing. See how you can actually visually see what's going on. That's exactly what it needed, some compression. And I should probably take another look at that EQ again. Let's see here. Let's add some rides, some percussion. Let's go ahead and record that. That might make for a better chorus bass. So how do I want to do this? Let's go in here to take this off. Don't loop. How do I keep up with my template? That's just years of using it. Really it. That's why I kind of like, I know a lot of, like, literally thousands of people have downloaded my template, And it's weird watching like a random YouTube video and I see my template on there. But man, like at the end of the day, I mean, also did a video where I showed you how to make your own template, and I know a lot of you aren't using everything that I'm using, especially like when it comes to the parallel buses and whatnot, because I don't really use my parallel buses all too often either. In fact, I'm trying to use Patcher more often than these parallel tracks, but I will start using these again here in 2020. But I feel like most of you would be better off just making your own template and figuring out what works for you and what doesn't. That way you guys stay organized. The one thing that I recommend coming from my template into you making your own, do this right here. Have a master track, have your wave track, and have a mix bus. That way you can put all of your automation on this mix bus and no mastering plugins, and then you could send that off as a 2-track to get mastered. And then your wave track, that would be your master track. So that gets exported. You put that on BeatStars, you put that on YouTube, you put that on the internet. And then this master track has your tag. Well, so this would go on BeatStars for people to download when they purchase. And then the master track will be the track where you have your tag. So you could export all of this at the same exact time, and you won't have to worry about, exporting 3 different times, 3 different versions of your track. Anyway, I totally forgot what bass line I was just working on, but I'm sure I could come up with it. Let's see here. Let's start here. Let's go into the playlist and extend this out. Best way to do this, let's go ahead and make another copy of here. And extend this out. Then we're just going to loop this so that I can make this second part of this bass line. Yeah, I was just talking to someone else on Twitch earlier today. I'm actually switching everything over to my own website because I didn't break even on BeatStars with promos and just paying the simple $20 a month. I'm just not at the level in terms of a social following to make the BeatStars marketplace matter. And that's where all of my sales were coming from. So the thing about the BeatStars marketplace, like if you don't have a lot of people clicking on your beats to listen to, like those don't pop up as often. And then it's a vicious cycle because you won't get sales. And then, the top charts, those are literally the beats that are making the most money. So it's really hard for you to get discovered if you don't have a lot of people listening to your beats on BeatStars right off the get. So I'm about to just make everything on my own website. And then once I get a bigger social media following, I mean, I only have like 5,000 people on YouTube. That's nothing compared to, everyone else on BeatStars that's actually making good money. So definitely by the end of 2020, I plan on tripling or quadrupling my subscribers, my followers. So by the end of 2020, I should be able to get back on BeatStars and not have any issues in terms of at least breaking even and getting my beats out there. Yep, lost a little money on BeatStars, but hey, sometimes you gotta do that. Let's go into the synth bass. And that's not to say that you shouldn't post your beats on BeatStars. I still have my free account. And I don't know if BeatStars knows this or not, but if you make a pro account, the $20 a month account, and you, you get unlimited whatever. So you get unlimited uploads, unlimited whatever. And the thing about that is, what I noticed after uploading, 50 beats or whatever, when I regressed back to the free account, all those beats are still there and all the licenses are still there. You're only supposed to have 2 different types of licenses, and you can only upload 10 tracks. All of my tracks are still there. Actually, if one of you could do me a favor and check out rapontracks.com and tell me if you still see all 50 or all 40. I forget how many tracks I have on there, but let me know if you see all my tracks, and yeah, that'll confirm it, because maybe I'm only able to see it on my end, but when I go to rapontracks.com, it shows up like I have a full account, but I don't know if BeatStars knows about that or not. Let me go ahead and unmute this. Where did my audio go? Can you guys still hear me? Yeah, you guys can still hear me. What happened here? Oh, the automation. Let me, go back here. Just, oh. Oh. There we go. Did it not record? Was I not recording? I thought I was recording. Maybe not. That did not record. Okay, let's try that again. Oh, I'm not fully looping here. Must be on a different pattern. That must be what's going on, right? Where is it? Playing, but I can't hear. Oh, I put it on the hi-hat pattern. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. Speaking of keeping track of your template, Jesus Christ. Let me just delete that. Synth-based pattern. Now it should work. There we go. And we are just gonna quantize that real quick. I gotta fix this. Alrighty. What was the guy? What was I gonna do next? Oh, well, I gotta arrange that now. Let's compare that to all that. See what that sounds like going into the chorus. You know what? I might keep that. Happy accidents. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That made me very happy. That's an ARP? Yeah. You weren't here earlier. Let me show you the sounds that I'm using. It's just Citrus. Bellish, I believe, is the preset. You should have this. If you go into Bells, oh, Bellarina. That's the preset. Bellarina. So everyone has that. Which, hold on. Oh, I keep forgetting that anytime you automate something and you play it to the end, you gotta Oh, has anyone noticed this trick? I was gonna do a video on this, but I don't know if it's really worth it. But if you middle click and then right click, it's a huge time saver in terms of having to go all the way to your menu and messing around with that, especially in the piano roll. So if you middle click and then right click, you get all of your options right here, wherever you click. And what's really cool about that is a lot of the keyboard shortcuts that are in FL Studio don't apply to that menu. So if I were to, let's see, for example, like there's no keyboard shortcut to get to these snap settings, right? So if you middle right click, boom, you have your snap settings like right there, real quick. It's so much faster. I'm trying to remember to do that because it's a huge time saver than going back to the menu over and over and over again. But anyway, what was I about to do next? Oh, there's still some more mixing to do with my been freaking listening to music all day and my ears are shot. I really love comments like this. This was on, I just got a message from Reddit Here's some sauce. If you're trying to start a YouTube channel, Reddit's no joke in terms of helping you out, in terms of finding people to watch your stuff. Functional Gopher replied, oh, okay. So this was my post earlier today with my synth bass tutorial. And it's funny, I just talked up Reddit so much, and that tutorial didn't do good on Reddit. Oh yeah, I definitely still use Ulean for multiple reasons too, not just for looking at levels. I'll get to that in a sec, but because the post didn't do so well on Reddit, I posted a comment that said, I legit didn't want to give away this information. It looks like I won't be giving it away anyway because the post did so horribly. But someone replied, you're easily one of the most informative YouTube channels today. So that definitely makes me happy to hear someone say anything like that. But let's go, let me put that back. Is smooth. That's good to hear because I really can't hear what's going on right now. I've literally been making music since, oh my gosh, it's 9:30 right now. I think I started around like 1 or 2. So yeah, I've put in a full day's work, a full 8-hour day of live streaming and posting and editing and whatnot. I mean, that's what I'm usually working like 12 hours a day anyway, but let's see here. What was I about to do? Drums sound good, bass sounds all right. Oh, the 808 pattern is bothering the crap out of me right now. What do you guys think about this 808 pattern? I really don't like it. I like how it hits, but the pattern just sounds kind of whack to me. Let's see. Oh, speaking of Ulean, yeah, let's see where we're at on Ulean. Let's go to the master channel. That's another really cool thing about having 3 different mixes. Yeah, let me go ahead and play that for you. Yeah, there's something wrong with that. Let me go ahead and fix that right now because it's bothering me. Yeah, for sure, King. Keeping it simple for sure, especially with these 808 patterns. I know people like to go crazy on these nowadays. Oh. Yeah, nope. This. Now I need to change the kick pattern because I changed the 808 pattern. And switch this grip to, let's leave it like much better. Jeez, that was bad. I need to change the length of those higher 808s. Let's see. Blup, blup. Oh. Oh. Alphabetical order. Switch to the. The thing about this is I don't think that I have the volume envelope on, so it shouldn't be doing it anyway, but take a look. No, I don't have it on, but let's turn it on and we can make this 808 last as long as we want it to. Much. Let's go ahead and delete this crap. Control B. Yeah, I agree, SLP, for sure. Yeah, it was really throwing me off for sure. Let's take a look at what I want to do next. We're pretty much done. Now I'm just going to master it real quick. So I was going to get into Uline loudness meter. And I'm actually going to do another mastering tutorial because there's some things that, there's some changes in the online streaming mastering community that I need to go over. So, but basically, let's go ahead and take a listen to what's going on here. Okay, first of all, let me get to the busiest part. Let's just loop that and see. Reset. So right now we're at negative 9.4 LUFS, so that's way too loud. And then our momentary is negative 5, another sign that it's way too loud. And our true peak max is above 0, so that's way too loud as well. So the way to fix that, you'll notice that my buses are clipping, my channels are not. So we're gonna leave the channels alone. This is why we haven't added any compression to any of the buses. Or the master, besides the soft clipper. And the reason being, if you were to do what I'm about to do, oh, actually I did add a limiter on instrument bus, but that's okay because we're not going to be adjusting the levels of these individual instruments. So what we're going to do, we're going to take these buses and we're going to lower the volume of all of them, and that won't affect the compression that's on any of the buses, if there is any. And then we're just going to lower the volume until these are no longer clipping. Actually, let's just go down to 6 dB and we'll know for sure that it's not clipping. I lied. We're going to go down to 3 dB. And then I'm going to adjust the soft clipper. Actually, I'm going to turn this up So we get back the volume that we just lost. So it's going to sound like it's the same level. No, it's not. Let me turn that down. And let me turn this threshold all the way up. To set it right about there. And the reason most people will tell you to load soft clipper and leave it at default. That's actually what I recommend for all of you guys. But if you are trying to do what I just did, if you already hit soft clipper the way that you wanted to, and you find yourself lowering the volume of your buses or your tracks or whatever, all you have to do is just reduce the threshold just a little bit, and you'll be able to get it to hit the same way that it was. I didn't reduce it as much because I'm about to add some more processing, so I don't want heavy soft clipping on the sound that we have right now because I'm about to decrease the dynamic range even more. But let's go ahead and take a look at Ulean and see where we're at now. You can see it says like -12. Oh, it's because it was still playing. Let's cycle it through. Hell yeah. Yeah, what I recommend is like -12, -11. I wouldn't go any louder than -10. -14 is about what people are looking for in terms of streaming services like Spotify and whatnot. But there's a way for you to fix that if you have the plugins that I'm about to show you. -6 right here in momentary, that's kind of loud. I try not to go past -9. Normally I wouldn't go past -8 for sure. So let's go ahead and make some adjustments and see if we could fix this. And we're going to go ahead and load up. What do I want to load up? Maximus. I've been using the crap out of Maximus lately. Do I stay under 0 dB? Yeah, I actually stay under, I try to hit it at -1 dB and true peak, -1 true peak. And that's so that I don't have to export multiple versions. So the -1, that's the same one that goes out to BeatStars. That's the same one that goes out to YouTube and Spotify, all the streaming services. They all recommend true peak being -1. So I just do that on all of them. And I don't really hear a difference in loudness with the way that I master my tracks. Something to keep in mind. Just because it says -1 dB doesn't mean it's -1 dB perceptively lower. All depends on how you mix it and master it. But let's go ahead and load up one of my presets here. I have 2 0 presets. I think this is what I'm looking for. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to just play the beat into this and just listen to what changes I want to make. I already know I want to make the bass mono, spread the mids a little bit, spread the highs a little bit, and then make the master a little bit more mono after I spread things differently. But let's go ahead and take a listen to what it sounds like doing nothing. You hear that extra crunchiness, that extra saturation, so we got to fix that. See these inputs. Oh, because the comp. Okay, I like to start with the low end first. You can see we're not even touching the low end at all. So I'm gonna make a mark right in the middle here. And then I am going to change these settings. So I'm going to back off the attack, decrease the release, and the sustain. You see how these peaks got a lot smaller instead of these really wide gaps in the sound? You want to avoid that in the mastering stage. That's more of what you would do on a single track. Yeah, that's good. Basically, you just want to kiss it. You just want the peaks to even out a little bit. Let's go to the mids. Oh, let's turn this mono as well. Just that little change, you could hear it clean up a little bit. Yep. And then go to the mids. I'm gonna spread the, actually, let's take a listen to what it's doing. Or take a look at what it's doing. Yeah, again, no compression. So we're gonna go ahead and click here. Go spread this a little bit. Go to the highs. Usually I'll leave the highs alone. See, they are peaking a little bit. Let's see if we can grab them. An easy way to adjust that, if they are that low, you could increase the pre knob. I wish you could link these two together to where you increase that and the post knob will decrease. There's a way to automate that, but I'm not going to increase this. See how that's jumping crazy like that? We're going to hit that right about there. General rule of thumb, with the higher frequencies, you could have a quicker attack, mids and the lows. I don't even know what that means. What? Oh, I get it. Someone commented Drake on my last tutorial, and I was like, what? What do you mean Drake? But I totally forgot that the whole tutorial was on synth basses, and the whole OVO, camp, they're known for synth basses because of 40 and what he brought to the table. But yeah, I actually have a tutorial that's based around all that, where I'm using Silent to make OVO style synth basses. But anyway, let's go ahead and is mastering at 0 dB bad, and I usually keep it at 14 or 11 LUFS. No, it's not bad. No, it's not bad, but I would say this. If you're gonna ignore the -1 for streaming, the loudest that I would go is -0.2. That's what I used to do way back in the day. And it's funny. It decreased more and more, almost like every year. So it started off me leveling everything. I would hit, 0 like everyone else. And then I learned, if you go -0.1, you actually miss some of the, I guess, the true peaks that are coming above 0 in my car. So I noticed if I made it -0.1, it would almost never distort. And then I started mastering things louder in terms of LUFS before I even knew what LUFS was. At the time, I was thinking more RMS, but just making things a lot more dense. And those things, or those tracks tend to, those would clip. So I took it down to negative 0.2, which I found a lot of other people were doing. So I was like, okay, so if you want to be extra safe, negative 0.2. And then I dropped it down to 0.3, 0.4, and now I'm all the way down to negative 1. So, but yeah, I used to make my masters at 0, 0.1, 0.2. At the end of the day, everyone has a volume knob. They can turn it down. The more important thing is how much dynamic range do you have in your track? So how much compression did you add? And that's what LUFS, that's what RMS, those type of meters are going to give you a good idea on how much you're compressing the track to where you can or can't fit vocals onto the track, because you need those vocals to be inside of the track. So if everything compressed down, really solid, really dense, like when I was working on that snare, let me turn that compressor off. Let me solo the snare real quick. Turn it back on. Well, it got louder, so I didn't compensate for that. But basically, the snare is denser. It's more compressed than before. And then it's louder because I turned up the gain, the makeup gain here by 5 dB. But that's the whole idea about compression. It actually makes your sound smaller, but in that process, it makes the sound more dense. And that's why everyone turns up the compressor at the end. That's where you get the volume. But yeah, I would recommend just mastering everything at negative 1 and learning how to control your dynamics. That's what I would recommend for sure. But hey, no, I haven't seen anyone doing that on BeatStars. So if you're uploading to BeatStars or whatever, everyone's at 0 on there, I swear. 0 or negative 0.1. Anyway, what was I doing? Maximus, eyes, solo that, and go to the, oh, I gotta spread those too. No problem, King, anytime. I'm gonna do I know there's only like 5 people watching right now on Facebook and YouTube, but I'm gonna do a quick Q&A at the end. And then if you guys want like beat reviews or something, you could post some links and I'll review them for you. Give advice on whatever you got. It's the best way for you guys to post links, because I don't think the chat lets you post links. Are you guys on Twitter? If you follow me on Twitter and post the link in on my Twitter, I could do some beat reviews for you guys if you want to just at me on Twitter. I think that's the easiest way. Instead of me going through I'm trying not to do the whole email thing like everyone else does. But anyway, okay, let's mono this a little bit. And you'll notice that I'm not doing any compression on the master, just leaving that alone. And now the final touch. This is how I make sure that this is how I do the -1 true peak. So I'm not really going to do any limiting or maximizing on this, but I am going to use the maximizer, and you'll see how in a second. Let's take a look at what our LUFS rating is before we add ozone. I'm just curious. It doesn't really matter at this moment. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Let me start that over because I wanted to show you guys something. Let me get an accurate reading here. Okay, So, stop. Oh, damn it. Let's do it again. Okay, so yeah, we're in the ranges that I was talking about, -8 to -9, -11 to -12, and now all we got to do is worry about our true peak max. So we went from having issues in every single one of these categories to just adding slight little compression here, here, and here, and that tamed all the levels. So that's all that's doing, and then spreading the stereo information. That's all that's doing. And then Ozone 8. Yeah, if you guys watched the tutorial that I posted on Monday, I kind of went over this because I had like 4 or 5 different plugins on my master channel, but I was like, don't get intimidated by that because each plugin's hardly doing anything. So yeah, you could see Maximus is barely touching this thing. Soft Clipper is barely touching the beat. I have nothing clipping. But yeah, so now I'm going to go into Master Assistant and then go to streaming. Oh, I got to play the audio too. Sorry about those crunchies. I want to check something real quick on Facebook on my phone instead of my iPad. Bear with me. Again, start posting those links if you guys want me to do any reviews for you guys. Just curious about something because on my iPad I can't see how many people are watching, but I think on my phone I can. Oh, I've been at it for 2 hours. This ain't telling me either. Oh well. I could find out by going on the internet, but really don't. Okay, so yeah, I have to look into yeah, SLP. I have to look into why or how to get links in the chat, but create a channel to join the chat. That real quick. I have no idea what that means. I have a channel and it's already linked. Why is it? So I can't even type in the chat. But you can post a link on my Twitter. It's twitter.com/InflightMuzik. It's the same name if you want to post it there. Yeah, that's what I would recommend at this point until I get that figured out. No idea what's going on there. So yeah, with Master Assistant, I'm going to hit True Peak, go to the equalizer, and you'll see all this doing all kinds of crazy stuff. I'm going to take a listen and then readjust the equalizer. I might turn it off completely. Let's increase the buffer. Ooh, it's already increased. Let's change the project settings to 24. Now I should be able to play just fine. That's better. I think I need to raise this up a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah. And let's take a look at this imager, just see what's going on here. I just want to check the correlation here. We're dipping below 0 a little too often there, so I'm going to take a look at Maximus, and I'm going to decrease this a little bit. I just noticed something. My melodies are not playing. It's not playing the right melodies. How did that happen? Let me think here. So these are the, these are the, how did those get unrouted? They're routed. Oh, wow. Okay. So that one's not going into... Neither is that one. Wow. I'm not on my game today. Beat sounds worse. I'm gonna fix it. I'ma fix it. So now all the leveling is off because those, you know what I'm gonna do? Screw it. I'm gonna put those right back where they were. If that's what made the mix sound good, that's how we're gonna leave it. And then we're gonna listen to the beginning. Yep, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna leave that. And then, let's see. What I wanted to do next. Oh yeah, messing with elements. So yeah, we still have a little bit going over 0. Let's do a mono test. If you can't tell, I didn't mix in mono. No. You know what it is? My side information is too loud. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take, and it's specifically on the ones with this wider track. I showed you, oh yeah, I mentioned how I still use Ulean loudness meter for multiple things. So let me show you what else I use it for. Let me, I need Patcher. Patcher. So when you install Ulean loudness meter, and you open up Patcher, you get these Ulean presets. And these are deadly. All of these presets are insane. Stop sleeping on these presets. Let's go to mid side. And I'm going to turn down the sides a little bit. Cleaned it right up. So, lesson there. Even though wider made things wider, I still wanted things exactly that wide, but all we had to do was turn down the volume of what we widened out. So the combination of those two plugins, which I didn't go over in my stereo widening video, which is really unfortunate, but the combination of these two plugins is, I mean, that's how you get perfection. Let's go into the maximizer. Oh, we could turn this imager off now. Go into the maximizer, and then we're just gonna adjust this a little bit. Let's take a look at Ulean and see where we're at, and then we'll be finished. We will call it a night. But let's see where we're at. Now, how crazy is that? Now, I know, like, this beat is louder than it was before, but the LUFS is lower. Yeah, all these numbers are a lot healthier. You see that negative 1.3 dB true peak max. We are super healthy right now. So from here, what I would do is lower this threshold, because we're going to be able to push this even louder than it is now because of what we did. So let's go ahead and do that. And we're not really gonna hit these peaks at all. Maybe touch them a little bit, but we're just getting it, you know, right to where it's at, just to bring it up as loud as we possibly can and keep it healthy. That's exactly where we want it. And then let's go ahead and recheck Ulean, and that will be it, fellas, gals. I do have a few ladies in the Facebook chat. Hell yeah. So you see how we got it down to 12, and then this down to 8. So this is about as loud as I really want to push this thing. I could push it louder and it'll still sound pretty clean, but there's no point in doing that because every platform that you upload it to besides SoundCloud is going to turn your track down. And that's, could sound good, could sound bad. More often than not, it sounds worse. So better safe than sorry, right? But let's go ahead and push this and see how loud we could make it if we wanted to make it louder, and how clean it stays. Pretty clean right there still. Got dirty right there. But another thing, let me set that back to 0. So if you're trying to compete with anyone out there making really loud tracks, this is the level that I would probably push it to. And let's take a look at Yulene and see where we're at. I'm guessing probably like closer to 10. LUF, yeah, sure enough. Forgot that this was still looping. So, and this should be accurate because we compressed it more. So, just to prove it, let's reset it. Yep. -10. So yeah, that pushed it to -10, and like I said, that's about the loudest that I would ever try to compete with anyone with. You got -6 right here in momentary. That's the loudest that I would go with that. But as you know, I like to keep things closer to between -8 and -9 in momentary, and then for LUFS, I like to keep things between 11 and 12. And I might go as low as 14, depending on how good I mixed it. Let's see here. Yeah, I got to fix this ozone and take this back to 0.4. And that is it, fellas. Let's go into my Twitter real quick and see if anyone posted any tracks. No big deal if you didn't. It's all good. I got to figure out the chat thing. Let's see. Let's save this. I'll export that some other time. And let's go to the internet. All right. Sure. Okay, dope. We do have a track review. Love for you to listen to one of my beats so I can. Well, yeah. Yeah, I'll definitely take a listen. Cause didn't you say you were listening on Beats headphones? Which that's got to be really hard to master in or mix in for sure, because those basses get really over exaggerated from what I understand. Oh, this is you. Okay. How do you pronounce your name? Nazadel. Nazadel. Nazadel? Nazadel Montesino. That's a dope name, though. Where are you from? Is that like Italian? Portuguese? Maybe? Oh, I got that's awesome that I got that on my first try. That's dope. But you're from Puerto Rico. Okay. That's dope. Azadel Montesino. That is a dope name. All right, but let's see. Violence, hip hop beat. Let's take a listen. Oh, and let me remember to follow you back. I'll follow anyone that follows me on Twitter. Something really weird happened earlier today. All of it deleted everyone that I was following. Like it said that it kept all of my followers and then deleted everyone that I was following. And then I got a message that I needed to unlock my account. So I don't know if someone hacked my account, but randomly all of my followers came back, or all of the people I was following came back. That was really... Yeah, let's go ahead and take a listen. Okay, with that sample already, I could hear right around like the 500 hertz range, like 4 to 500. You have some mud built up right around there in this sample or in the loop that you made in this piano. It's not a lot of mud, but just decreasing that area with a broader Q, about like 2 dB, maybe 3 dB, it would clean that up. Dope, dude. No samples, all from scratch. That's what I'm talking about. That's really what I want to get more people to do, because I feel like, I know me personally, the level that I'm at, I actually make melodies faster than I could find a loop. So I don't even, there's literally no point of me looking for loops and then downloading them and then researching through them through my browser. Like, that's a lot of time. Like, people act like it saves you time, but if you know how to play, it actually takes more time to do that. But anyway. Do you use FL Studio, and what VSTs are you using? I like the vibe. Okay, this is exactly what I was saying about Beats headphones. That's so insane. So if you guys are watching this replay, SLP says that he uses Caustic 3 Mobile. Maybe it's Acoustic 3 Mobile. I don't know. I'm not familiar with that program, and it's all on his phone. So he makes his beats all on his phone and uses Beats headphones to mix. That's crazy impressive. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, it's called Caustic 3 Mobile. It's written right here. But yeah, the downfall about Beats headphones, and I hear it right now. There's because the bass is enhanced, it makes you turn your bass down because you think it's too loud. The bass is pretty low in here. It's a lot of sub, and I bet that sounds great on those Beats headphones, but you need some more of those higher end frequencies for sure. Something that I didn't do on my beat that this beat would help this beat out a lot. Go into your hi-hat pattern and shift those over, because they are super, super on the grid. And, you know, a lot of trap music is on the grid, but for whatever reason, in this beat, it's like really, really obvious that it's like very, very gridded. But I would, even if you already did shift it, I would shift it over even more if that is what it sounds like after you shifted it. That's what I would say. Those hi-hats are pretty crispy. I like it, but for some people it might be a little too much. I might back down maybe 6 or 7K a little bit. Get like a notch. Not a notch filter, because that takes it all the way out. But yeah, just dip it with a narrow Q right around 7K or so. That's cool, man. I like the vibe. How long have you been making beats? I'm gonna check out some more of your stuff. I can hear the same exact mix already with this. Like it sounds like the same frequencies are about to come in for sure. Also keep in mind, like I said, I've been mixing and listening to music all day, so my ears, I really don't trust my ears. I'm gonna have to listen to that beat that I made again tomorrow. Yeah, technology is insane now. The fact that you just been making beats for a year, or at least just been using that program for a year, and your beats already sound like this, that's pretty amazing. Especially the way that you're mixing. Good use of reverb there. I like the sound of that reverb. So for some people, they might think it's too much, but it's a nice change because your hi-hats sound like they're totally dry. So just getting that brightness from that reverb off of those, off of whatever had that reverb. Yeah, those snares. Dope, bro. I like the breakdown here. Let's go to the end. I'm curious what your outros are sounding like. Okay, a fade out, straight. See, I'm going to listen to one more. Any of these you recommend me listening to? What's up, Eddie? Let's see here. Yeah, you've been making beats on Caustic for a year. Looks like you've been into this for a while. Let's see. Your most recent one? Is this what we just listened to on Twitter? Totally different vibe from the first two. Trap or die, trap or die. You know what I want to start doing during some of my critiques? I think I want to play along with some of your beats. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now, Eddie. I'm doing a beat critique. Yeah, man, I like that vibe too. Switching it up. Yeah, always trying to create a new vibe. Yeah, that's really important to not just stay singular because you never know what's gonna hit. Um, and plus, that increases your skills going back to whatever you're used to doing too, because you'll introduce new things to whatever your main style is. So I definitely recommend you keep doing that. Yeah, Eddie. This was I just did a quick 3-track beat critique for SLP, and now I'm doing or no, I'm about to log off, but before all of that, I actually made this beat. I'll just play this for you real quick, and then I'm gonna peace out. The melody's a little too loud. No problem, SLP. I'll see you in the next one. Hell yeah, Eddie. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Thanks, SLP. I appreciate that. Save that with the new balance that I just made. I am pretty sure that I am going to have to remix that again tomorrow. But until next time, I'll see you guys on Friday. Or what day is today? Today's Wednesday, right? Yeah, today's Wednesday. I'll see you guys Friday. And yeah, new tutorial on Friday as well. So